They call me an adeptus. Treat me with great deference and respect.
Yeah, 'cause that's how adepti are. At least the ones we've met are pretty unique and reclusive, too.
But I am not...
Shenhe?
I'm fine. I've been exerting myself quite a lot ever since we set foot in that abode.
Well, Byron said that there are some makeshift hotels we...
No need. I simply need to find myself a secluded place in the wilderness to...
You can't do that. It's dangerous out in the wild, and when you're hungry, you go eat something tasty. And when you're tired, you go...
Okay. If you insist.
Great! Now we're talking. Let's head to our...
Hi there! Checking in, are we? Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people, and so business is booming for me today.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour. Here are your keys. All right.
Shenhe, you should go get some rest. Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice one of the guests walk in with a Let's buy one for Shenhe too. She can have it.
All right. I will head to my room. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. See you tomorrow.
Hey! Isn't that Cloud Retainer? What's she doing? Let's go and say hi.
One trusts you have met Shenhe.
So far, so good. Yeah!
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the adepti living today are acquainted.
Cool! So, calling her Shenhe feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So,
Her adeptus name. Why, pray tell, which Shen...
don't all...
On this latter point, you are correct.
Oh, right. Wait, what? You knew already?
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary...
Well, to start with, her problem...
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence of a god's remain. Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old.
That sounds so...
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. That she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower. One dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike.
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding. Even had the stalemate continued,
That's still so dangerous, though! Why was a tiny little...
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind. Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shenhe has an extraordinary constitution, making her well adapted to practice. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse. The red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have... It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours.
Oh, now Paimon gets it.
Huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. Let us conclude our conversation here for today. A human raised by the Adepti is precisely what Liyue needs right now.
So, Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti. Oh, no wonder she doesn't like being treated as an Adeptus. Having everyone falling over themselves to show their respect all the time must be kind of hard to deal with. Hey, so, Shenhe...
Master has relayed my situation to you.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check and caught sight of my map. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me to suspect. After all, Master is...
Sorry, Shenhe. Paimon had you down as an Adeptus this whole time, but...
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner. Because in my experience, Still, though you mistook me for an Adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real Adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an Adeptus or a human isn't the important thing. First and foremost...
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do.
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the... But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper. After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will really be able to find any. If it turns... Look! Look! The Jade Chamber is floating, but it seems to be tied down by...
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Bywin! And hey, Beidou! And hey, person Paimon doesn't...
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow...
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment. I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the punch.
Beidou? You're joining the Jade Chamber?
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of Sunset Vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd...
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're...
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine. And this is...
Shenhe. I am their... friend.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew. Miss Yun is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, to be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest.
Wow. So it looks like the...
Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help her win.
in that case, I have a proposal. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between...
Sounds great, but...
I think the plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't... How'd I do? Is that what you had in...
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting approach.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the ore used as raw material.
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers.
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, by the way, what question are you gonna...
I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has excellent judgment.
Ooh, what's the opera called?
The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote, it's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the...
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you...
Of course I have.
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you...
Yunjin? Stage use? Sorry. My brain's finally caught up. It's not used to do it. So, you're here to ask about wonder cores, huh? As it happens, the types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang...
No, we were gonna...
Sure. Well, if I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter iron from... It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. I'm really not sure. Sorry. Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for...
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of... I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. No wonder the legend of the Divine Damsel of Devastation is said to have taken place here.
The Divine Damsel of Devastation is your upcoming opera, right? What's the story about?
It's the story of a girl becoming a...
Cool! A hero story? They're Paimon's...
The legend first arose in this area. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. The vile and vicious monster told the villagers, if you want to live...
What a nasty piece of work! Ugh, Paimon sure...
But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster...
No...
Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. She approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti seldom cross, and so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was not as brave as the opera makes her out. I'm not sure she deserves all the praise.
I've never considered... Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience.
I think it's a great story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get her... Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Huh. He didn't...
Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to...
Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Shenhua, Yunjin...
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shenhe.
Shenhe. I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium. This place is deserted now.
Huh? You know that...
Thank you, kind sir. We'll go... Don't worry. Mingjin has no ill intention towards Miss...
Okay, then let's...
I came back here once before. A few years ago, it was deserted then too, except for a few low-life bandits. I tried explaining to them that I wasn't an Adeptus. When I saw how run down all these houses were, I felt at a loss. It was like I took a look at the world and, on the surface...
Suddenly, so much time has...
Last time I visited, I felt so upset.
It is easy for your mind to run wild when you are alone.
Yes,
The remains of a god. Does this mean that the time frame certainly matches? What's this? So... Shenhe? Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an Adeptus. And she is about the right age. So that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have... According to this text, the divine damsel from... And she didn't volunteer. She was... Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl... Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few...
This is it! So basically, we need to go to the middle of the... Let's go back and tell
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired... I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I bring flowers back here every year.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have... There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love.
Do you still...
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But, so if you ask me how I feel about the past...
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe! We're back!
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, it brings me some solace knowing that you are okay. I'll tell you more about the old times.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhe, look! This tells us how to find Subrosium.
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk... Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out that many of the details in the Divine Damsel of Devastation are not true to the fact.
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience in...
It's okay. I like your version. My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly become. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect others. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to think in...
Don't worry. I believe you will. In fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person you aspire to be.
Shenhe! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat! Let's go! We can't let someone else beat us to it!
What brings you here? Have they found a solution to the danger in the sea? Ningguang didn't tell you. Something has happened in Guyan Stone Forest. According to... But these things can be unpredictable. I have a contingent... Only a single mountain lies between here and Liyue Harbor. If things get out of control, I will defend this place myself.
Oh.
So...
This is some top quality ore, you guess. Now it's my time.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and...
Leave the Wonder Cores to me. I'll work... Don't worry.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next.
I'll sort that out.
Oh?
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the... Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all.
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't say whether you... But now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find me on my ship.
Thank you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use...
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work.
Whew. The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects inferior to my master's, I can assure you there will be no quality issues.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets... Ningguang's little secretary! We found all the materials!
Oh, already? All three of you found them together. The Wonder Cores and Adepti sigils look good. I hereby announce that the winners of this material procurement contest are the Traveler, Yunjin, and...
What? It's over already? I haven't even found the plustrite yet!
So close, but so far.
I'd like to invite our three winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber, where Lady...
Huh? Where's Beidou? She would...
Captain Beidou has some business to attend to. She will join later. Please...
Alright then, guess we'll head on up to the... This has been a long time coming. The last time we went up to the Jade Chamber was 8!
Combine the Adepti sigils with the Wonder Cores and insert them into the Jade Chamber's control compartment. The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the sky. Thank you all for your work. Now it is time for me to fulfill my...
Yeah!
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement. You are looking for a venue for your new opera, aren't you?
That's right. Lady Ningguang, I would like to hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yun's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if I proposed that we stage your first performance right here? The Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the heavens.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly. Please...
You're quite welcome. It's truly what a good opera deserves.
A traveler, Shenhe, Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come and see my play when the time...
You're next. What is your question? I should clarify. I do not know your brother's whereabouts. Please, don't...
Wow, you're a mind reader, Ningguang. Oh well, guess Paimon will ask a question then.
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, an instinct for what is a good opportunity. If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement and give you an answer. But that is not to say that...
Wow, Paimon hadn't even asked the question yet.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look, you helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, and so I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here. I will...
Great! So next time we run out of Moro, we just need to come to No more questions from us. Shenhe, you got...
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to ask.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah, just don't waste it. Hold on a sec.
Lady Ningguang, do you think I can ever fit in Liyue Harbor?
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here, you will not be turned away. So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging in Liyue Harbor.
Huh. A sense of belonging.
Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it, it always requires a reason. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here. Or perhaps you enjoy the atmosphere of Liyue, and you will become accustomed to it. In short, everyone needs a reason to stay. I hope you can find yours soon.
I see.
Hey, what's going on? I just went to see the fleet. I'm a little later than expected.
Come on, Beidou! It's your turn! Do you have a question for Ning?
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to help out, so I figured I may as well get involved with the contest. Ningguang, don't forget what we talked about. It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millilith have set up an ambush.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
Beidou? Ningguang? What are you talking about?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen in all seven. My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built the Jade Chamber anew. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, and I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence! Right on cue. The Avenger of the Vortex, Baish.
Who is that?
Osial's wife. Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming!
Beidou sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepti.
No.
Huh?
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone!
What's that? Wait! A giant wave!
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. And At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
What are you doing here?
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk!
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared, and she is already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
We'll help you! Starball! Huh, duh. Huh, huh.
You can't run!
What a nuisance!
Obey! Manifest! Do your master's bidding!
Yeah! I'll protect us!
Beg for mercy! Obey! Manifest!
She's getting away! Shouldn't we go after her?
This place is unstable. It is too risky to continue pursuing her. I'm just a little exhausted. Otherwise, I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
How did things go underwater?
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you visit the Jade Chamber in the future...
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyan Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Thank you. However...
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses... Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millelith, thank you for your service.
Great. Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I'll be able to take the compliment. I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to...
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down. If she returns with a vengeance, we must be prepared.
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been a little more arduous. If it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit that you have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. Hence, on balance, one finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough.
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure—
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor—
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
Good. Traveler, please take good care of Shenhe. In fact, one has many fond memories of Shenhe's childhood that—
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are all like this. Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you. One shall be going homeward now.
Please, have a good rest. Come to the Jade Chamber when you have recovered your— We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis.
The Millilith's casualties are with it, but in hindsight, there were still flaws. If we'd had more time, we could have built a barrier here. We must learn from this experience and never repeat. Wow! Everyone's already seen! It's Paimon's first time attending a banquet in the Jade—
All of you here are my distinguished guests. I am determined that each of you those who don't drink alcohol, please, help yourself to other beverages. Fine wine is a delight to the senses, but it is far from the only one.
Have you heard? Miss Yun's going to be performing today.
Sure have. Honestly, it's the main reason I'm here. I hear she's going to perform the Divine Damsel of Devastation today.
Hey, look!
神女披冠到这里本该接近尾声，但今日我再添一笔，唱与诸位听。知道为民人不是，自有知音多情思，功名烈烈见了心，只知不操心。彼时鹤归，茫茫天地无依靠， 孤身离去。今日再会，新朋旧友坐满堂，共聚此时。
What did you think? Personally, I thought I said
It was beautiful.
It was wonderful. Also,
you're welcome. Thanks to you, the divine damsel of devastation, the play has an ending, but life goes on. I believe you will find a way to fit in and
thank you. I think I found—
Ms. Yun! Here you are, huh? Hey, this young lady with the white hair looks like some kind of VIP. Yeah, wait. You're the girl from the opera, aren't you? The divine damsel herself. And look who else we have here. Let me pull up a chair, all right? Will?
Alternatively, you could leave us alone. That is, if you'd prefer to finish your drink via the orifice of your own—
Uh-oh. This feels all too familiar.
Hey, what are you doing?
Calm down, Shenhe. Calm down.
to act. After our trip to Mount Tianheng together, I felt much more in touch with the character today. Next time I have a new opera, may we study—
Now that I think about it, I'm glad Master sent me here to deliver the sigils. I'm sure I have much to learn from you in the future.
You've made an exceptional contribution toward the building of the new Jade Chamber. I will not forget this. I shall be sure to repay your kindness at an appropriate juncture. A great many things are still unaccounted for. The new Jade Chamber is missing many of the contents held by it. All the literature, furniture, and ornaments I had collected followed the original Jade Chamber. Most of it was destroyed in the process, and the small handful of items that survived intact. It takes someone with sturdy sea legs to handle this job. But even then, I just can't tell whether Beidou will be able to fish out everything her—
Wait, so you made Beidou go and fish your stuff out of the—
To claim that I made her do anything would be imprecise. Payment is one aspect of it, but I also compensate her in other ways. Anyway, Beidou is currently in the Gu. If you're interested, go pay her a visit. You may be just the help she needs.
Ningguang, you're really trying my— I'm sorry, but if the Jade Chamber smashed into smithereens when it hit the sea, then so did everything inside it. Just because I know the ocean doesn't mean I have the power to fish up the— Oh, Traveler, what are you doing out this way? Great, you couldn't have picked a better time. The whole fleet's caught up with other things right now, so I'll take all the help. Look, I even had to rope Xinyan into this.
Yeah, what's the occasion? Did you come all the way out here to do a performance?
You bet I did. Nothing official, mind you. Beidou wanted to hold a feast on board, and I agreed to come play a couple— But all that went out the window when someone showed up saying they were one of Ningguang's secretaries.
I think it was Bai Wen or Bai... Anyway, Ningguang apparently came up with the bright idea of me going out on the sea and salvaging a bunch of her old valuables. Well, at the end of the day, Now, if we're gonna go trawling for trinkets, all the available boats have been dispatched already. But by the looks of it, we're still one short. Say you have your own vessel, do ya? The more people we have on this job, the better. Because the sooner we get this wrapped up, the sooner we can get that feast going. So, this is it? This is your boat? It's really, compact. But it works. It's about the right size for sweeping up junk from the water's surface.
The only thing is, we're packed in like sardines here. There's nowhere to put my guitar.
Xinyan, your axe is getting a little too close for comfort.
Oh, whoops! Let me try to move that out of your way.
Xinyan,
Hold up, are those treasure hoarders?
We don't usually see these guys out at sea. Could they be here for the same reason as us? Come on, Traveler. Steer us a little closer.
Huh? Why are they headed back to shore?
To reconvene with their posse. Speed it up a notch, Traveler. This is a chase.
Stop! All of you! Are you blind? Can't you see this is Captain Beidou? Captain Beidou, it's been a while. Still fighting?
I guess it has been a while, Carmen. You're looking a little... Maybe if you did your own dirty work rather than dispatching your minions.
How you jest, Beidou. Very amusing.
To get serious for a second, though, I'm gonna be needing all of...
Of course, of course. Whatever Captain Beidou wants. You heard her, people. Drop the goods. Here you are. It's all here.
wow, he did what we asked without a second thought.
Couldn't run off quickly enough.
Don't waste any more time on them. We've still... but we should load this stash onto the boat first.
Come on. We gotta wrap this up soon. Leave the junk, and I need a few of you to load the boat up.
Whatever you're about to do, don't. And whatever goods you're holding...
Beidou?
I might ask you the same question.
I mean, what does it look like? We got lucky. Found some treasure floating around in the... If you see anything you like, it's yours for the taking. A token of our esteem for the mighty Captain Beidou.
Is that right? Well, good. I'll take it all.
Come on. Me and the guys have been busting a gut gathering all this up. You gotta leave.
Let me make this crystal clear. These things do not belong to you, and they never will. So you're gonna put them down, and then you're gonna get as far away from me as is physically possible.
That's a little, hey.
Huh. Sounds a lot like your stall talk is cheap. Let's settle this the old-fashioned way.
Punishment!
Right on top of it!
Crumble apart! Starballs! Boy, they sure...
Who cares? They didn't take... The bigger problem here is there's no way all of this is... Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Unload the boat and put everything here in one place. Based on the original plan, Sea Drake's boat should be coming past here at some point. In the meantime, Traveler, head back to the Jade Chamber and deliver a... Just tell her we're almost done fishing for trinkets here, so... She should start... All right. Thanks, Traveler. If both Carmen and Leo were here, then I wonder if that other boss of theirs, Big... I've got to tell Sea Drake and the rest of the crew...
Seems like the treasure hoarders are more of a...
I wonder what's taking Sea Drake so...
Welcome back. I trust Beidou is making good progress on Treasure hoarders. I see. Yes, I can imagine that must have been rather irksome. It sounds like you scared them off on this occasion, but it won't end there. They are not the type to forgive and forget. You needn't concern yourself with them any further, though. Leave them to Beidou. She is well versed in handling treasure hoarders. I will be sure to make preparations for her compensation. I also owe you my thanks for coming all this way to deliver Beidou's message. Here, please take this as a token of my appreciation. Now, please excuse me. I have other business that demands my attention. I wish you a fun-filled festival. Ministry of Civil Affairs and have them delegate each of the tasks on the list to the appropriate. Also, be sure to tell them that though the Lantern Rite may be
Hello, Lady Ningguang. It's us again.
No, of course not. And given the looks of you two,
That's right. So what's on the...
As always, there will be a variety of activities taking place. Oh, but there is one of particular interest. The Ministry of releasing Mingxiao lanterns has always been at the heart of the Lantern Rite. But with all that has occurred in Liyue as of so, I believe that this year calls for a celebration of particular magnificence. We are currently in the process of placing fireworks at various locations all throughout Liyue. We shall choose a timely moment.
Fireworks? But we've already seen fire... Is there something...
Fireworks were originally developed alongside when our ancestors first created fireworks. They were originally known as fireworks. In those days, it was difficult for people to contact one another while out farming the land. But people's lifestyles began to change after Liyue Harbor was founded. But through our local customs, the pioneering spirit, we made improvements to firecrackers and began setting them off during the Lantern Rite to commemorate the tenacious spirit.
Wow.
As I'm sure you already know, everything on this land accumulates history and value. I've left Kuching in charge of the fireworks show. If you're interested...